What's up everybody, Old Man Winter 8, and I wanted to do a little video for you about the bindings that are going to be featuring the FASE system for 25-26. It's kind of a funny video because the FASE system itself, if you're not sure what it is, it's a system put on a regular two-strap binding just to make it a lot easier and faster to get in and out of. And I'll leave a link down in the description to a video that's all about that goes a little bit more in depth. But the funny thing is about it is, since it is just a standard two-strap binding and all this thing is there to do is get you in and out of the binding easier, this is really just a video about 4 random bindings. But since they are the first 4 that are going to be featuring the FASE system, a lot of people are going to want to try this out. This is going to be a little bit of a guide to kind of show you which one you should try out and it's going to fit your riding style the best. So starting off with the 32 team binding, this is going to be the kind of softest binding out of the bunch. It's not a soft binding by any means. I've ridden this thing a lot. I've ridden it in soft conditions. I've ridden it in hard conditions. I've ridden it in cold conditions. I've ridden it on free ride boards. I've ridden it on park boards, and it feels great. It still is an all mountain binding in general, but overall it does have a little bit of a softer feel. The high back itself has a little bit of a softer, easier feel side to side. The straps, these things wrap around your boots so well, but when you do feel the strap in general, it does have a little bit softer, easier feel. After riding it, I'm gonna say it's a little bit closer to a 5. It's kind of that good mid-range, all mountain, go anywhere, do anything binding, but with those little bit softer features on the strap and the high back. A lot of people that are riding park, or again, just like that little bit softer, easier feel overall, are gonna benefit from this. And then when we move up to the Blaster, flex-wise, they're saying a 6 on this. So whether you're riding the Blaster with the FASE or the Blaster without, it's still a 6. So again, a little bit more on the medium side of things, still all mountain binding, but a little bit more towards your traditional all mountain binding. So a little bit stiffer than the 32, but the big difference in this is not only does it have the polyglass base plate as opposed to the unibody construction on the 32 team binding, but this one has their ASIM wrap heel loop. So this one is a metal heel loop that goes all the way up to the toe on the inside, and then it's very open on the outside. So it gives the binding of surfy feel. So even though this thing is a little bit more in that mid flexing 6 range from toe to heel, it still has a little bit easier, surfier feel, which is kind of nice. But you can really throw this on just about any board on the market and have a blast. And then from there, we move up to the Rome Katana, which has a base plate and heel loop. It's very similar to the Blaster, but the Katana, I'm calling it a little bit more of a 7. Now the reason that I'm calling this one a 7 is that it has this pivot adjuster on the ankle straps where you can actually adjust the strap lower, mid, or even higher. So this does kind of give it a little bit softer feel, closer to that 6, but you can also bump it up to an 8. But in general, if you have this thing kind of right in the middle, it's going to be a little bit closer to that 7. But again, another great all mountain, go anywhere, do anything binding, very close to the Blaster. But again, it just gives you a little bit more of that adjustability with the straps to have that stiffer or softer feel overall. And that's why out of these 4 bindings, this one is the most expensive because it does have the most parts. And then when we move up to the Jones Mercury FASE, just like the standard Mercury in their line, this one is going to be a little bit closer to that 8. It does have that similar unibody construction and toe strap that the 32 binding is going to have, but it is a little bit more of a medium stiff flex overall. The high back on it, definitely a much stiffer high back. It does have a little bit of flex from side to side, but you can see that asymmetrical look to it, and it also has this beam going across it, which does stiffen it up in the places you need it to be stiff. But again, when you lean back on this thing, super quick reacting. And then another big thing on this one too is that the strap itself has this dual band construction. So you actually do have 2 different materials making up the strap itself. And when you do feel this one, compared to the 32 or even compared to the Battalion and the Rome, it is a much stiffer strap overall. So it is gonna have a little bit quicker reacting. One thing that actually makes it a little bit easier to kind of understand too is, since this is the first year for the FASE system and they're adding it to the existing bindings with the exception of the 32, because that binding is a brand new binding. But if you kind of look at the companies and you look at their riders and what they're doing, that kind of tells you a little bit about what these bindings are for as well. If you look at the 32 team, obviously they got big mountain riders all the way down to street riders, but they're really known for that kind of freestyle, kind of park, street kind of feel. And that's kind of what that binding is for. Likewise, when we go up to Jones, Jones is obviously known for that big mountain riding. And we're looking at Jeremy Jones himself, who is going to be riding these when he's not split boarding, and definitely a little bit more on the free ride side of things. And then Battalion and Rome, they definitely have got a wide range of riders that are riding everything, but you really aren't going to say that the majority of them are going more towards freestyle or more towards free ride. So that's kind of where those bindings sit performance wise. But again, just like any binding in the market, these things are all mountain bindings. It just depends on your flex preferences from that kind of medium to that stiffer binding. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit if you want to check out the new FASE system. And again, the FASE system is not a binding. It is a system that is added to a two-strap binding. It's not a step in, it's not a step on, it's not a rear entry. It is a standard two-strap binding that's just faster and easier to get in and out of. But this FASE system is very, very cool, and it definitely is something that you are going to start seeing on a lot more companies' bindings past the 25-26 season.